Welcome back, everybody. Hi, it is January 13th. If you're across the international date line, it is January 14th, and you're in my future, and I love you for that. But happy Wednesday, everybody. We're back with a brand new two-part series. Today's series is going to be called Self Love. I want to focus on this because I think that now more than any time in recent history, the world needs a unified love. It's going to start within yourself as an individual. So many people for so long have had struggles about learning how to love themselves. I've dealt with this my entire life. I had to relearn who I was at certain points in my life. I've had to reteach myself things that I didn't even know about myself that I thought I knew about myself. So it kind of changed everything. So when I say reteach, it's like the beauty of it is I was teachable within my own mind, and I learned new things. I take the good from the bad, take the good from the old, learn from the new, put it all together, and just try to be a better me. Try to be a better you. And the one way to start with that, the only way truly to start with that, is going to be in here, and it's going to start with how you love yourself. I think that everybody needs to know, and if you've never heard this, I need to speak it into existence for you that it is really true. The saying goes that you can't expect someone to truly love you the way you want them to if you don't love yourself and show them that fluid vibration, that outpour that's how you feel about yourself. That no matter what, if you're in a hardship or you're having a bad day, you know that there are things that you will not change within yourself that you just love. And it could be your moral character, it could be your judgment, it could be the way you handle situations, it could be how you face adversity. Um, some real life, very common examples of reasons why people make excuses to not love themselves are hardships. You've got depression, which is at an all-time high in our modern era right now, and I really want this to be a resource for people who suffer from depression and anxiety and things of that nature, because the frequency fluid channel will have something for you. It is something for everyone. It is a global movement, and it is going to be a mindset that I work tirelessly and for the rest of my life to outpour to people in the world so that we can become a better unified humanity. And again, as I said, it does start with us as individuals. So, moving on down the list of real life things that people use or maybe don't realize they're making excuses to use as a reason to not love themselves. But you got hardships, you have depression, you have toxic relationships, very common, very common. Toxicity through substance abuse or alcohol abuse, very common. These are reasons why people begin to create a hatred for themselves when all they're trying to do is find that happy place for themselves so they can feel good about themselves for a little while or not feel at all. It's not the way, guys. The way is going to be to learn the frequency fluid mindset that you can love yourself. You are physically born, scientifically born with the capability to love yourself. I want to explain to you that real quick. Scientifically, every human being is born with the brain. Okay? Not everybody's brain functions the same, but everybody's brain has what is called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus creates three types of hormones that are important in this subject matter. Very important, okay? You have dopamine, which gives you the ability to love. You have oxytocin, which gives you the desire to love. And you have vasopressin, which gives you the hormone and the ability to feel happiness when you are basically when you're being social with someone. You get approached by a handsome man, or you get approached by a really pretty girl, or you want to make a move on a pretty girl that you would like to take out on a date, or the way your wife hugs you and makes you feel, or your husband hugs you and makes you feel. That vasopressin, these things are in you, guys. They're in you, and you need to believe it because it's true. We're all born with that capability. So, I don't want to sound harsh, but I don't want anybody making excuses for not loving yourself. You have the capability. It's these life experiences that we go through that maybe sometimes we feel nobody is relating to, that no one knows exactly what path you're walking in your shoes at that time. But I can tell you this right now, wherever you're at in the world, someone's going through probably the exact same situation, at least a couple of people, and we're going to be a resource here for you. I'm going to be a resource. Frequency Fluid, this channel, is going to be a resource for something for everyone, so that you can learn. We can learn together. We can learn about happiness. We can learn about sadness. We can learn about adversity. And we can teach ourselves as one to overcome and become the better version of ourselves, so that we can create a better humanity for our world, a unified humanity with a fluid mindset, the frequency fluid mindset. Um, Medical diagnoses are something very often, commonly used as a reason to not feel self-love. You feel you're angry with yourself because maybe you were diagnosed with something that you couldn't stop. How can you be mad at yourself for that? You can't. Love yourself while we have ourselves, guys, and we will attract that desire for love, which is really the central desire for happiness. I believe is that everybody wants to feel loved. And you've got to love yourself, guys. You've got to love yourself. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on loving ourselves, creating a better individual within us, so that if you're walking down the street and you walk down this same street every day and you pass the same beautiful woman, or you pass the same handsome man that you would love to spend 5 minutes with talking, but you can't help but feel down about yourself. So you look down, you have your earbuds in, you have a frown on your face. Well, guess what? Try walking by that person with your head up, your shoulders back, and a smile on your face. Take your earbuds out. Say, hi, hope you have a good day. Nice to see you. And see how things change for you. See how you emanate that vibration, that fluid vibration that will grab their frequency. You will be on the same frequency in an instant, guys. And it starts with your self-love, your self-appreciation for yourself. Um, it's so key. It is so important, especially, guys, especially when you're dealing with depression, family separation. Just to give you a little background, my fiance and I, we are what's called a binational couple. Due to the pandemic, we have not been able to breathe the same airspace for 359 days and counting. And we have no light at the end of the tunnel right now. But we're not giving up. We're stronger than ever. Our love grows constantly. And we're looking forward to the day where we are going to be able to spend the rest of our lives together. And you can't do that without a certain degree of self-love and self-appreciation, to know who you are and build your character off of that. You just can't. So, I want you to know that for all the people in K-1 visa situations and in family separation situations and travel border bans and all of this stuff due to the pandemic, you are not alone. There are real people out there living this experience. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, dealing with this. There's people who lost their jobs. I lost my job to the pandemic, you guys. I don't need to hide that. I'm not ashamed of that. You know what I did? I had to come and take care of my children. I'm a stay-at-home father. I'm a full-time dad mom, and I take care of my children, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I have found ways and resources to be able to continue on, and we haven't missed a beat. But you know what I got out of that? I got the blessing of spending more time with my children in the last year than I have ever in their whole lives, because I'm a career man. My background is project management in the electrical industry and automation industry, and it took a lot for me to have to walk away from that, but I did that because I knew what I needed to do, which was be here for my children, protect my children, and I needed to learn how to love myself for doing so. And it took me quite some time to do that. And these are just examples that I know people are going to be able to connect with. I've got friends out there that I consider family that I've never even met, because we talk online and things like that, and we support each other. We give each other that foundation of, you're not alone. And I encourage them, and they encourage me, and just saying, hey, you're a ray of sunshine. It can make someone feel amazing about themselves and look at themselves in the mirror a different way, which will result in the self-love that I want everybody to ascertain through the frequency fluid mindset. Please, 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 please work on this, guys. Work on promoting this to your fellow man, more importantly, because the mission is to have a more unified humanity, to create better versions of ourselves and to love ourselves so that we can love one another. The world needs that, and it needs it now. It starts now. Commit to yourself, promise to yourself that you're going to do that, and you will see amazing changes within who you are, and how happy you can become with no change, with simplicity of your life, with minimal gain, or in the face of loss. That's the most important part, guys. You can be facing adversity. You can be facing very hard trials and tribulations. You can be facing loss. You can be facing failure. The mission is to learn how to continue to love yourself and build your individual character from within, to know that you're content with who you are. Okay? I hope you guys have enjoyed part one. We've got part two coming up. It's gonna really nail down some frequency fluid steps that I've tried to formulate, so that we can actually go back and watch, and you can really go, okay, you know what, I relate to this. And part two is going to be able to give you some recourse as to how you can start building that self-love. Okay, so thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to the K1 Visa family. They help keep me together. They've inspired me tremendously. And for all you binational couples out there, you are not alone. The world does see, we do hear, and whenever that change comes in our lives to where we can actually breathe the same airspace as our loved ones, it's going to be more amazing than ever. It's going to make us stronger than ever. So please love yourself. Don't let depression or anxiety win. Please relax. You've got to take care of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to do that for the children, for ourselves, and for our future, okay? I can't stress that anymore. It's so important. You've got to love yourself. There's more coming up in part two, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, please.